Hey everyone. Hi, I'm John David West. Welcome to Theater for the New City's weekly reading series, TNC on the Air. And this is where we present live performed readings of brand new works. So it's all about the writers. But tonight, it is all about the performers. And it's all about L-O-V-E, love. Yeah, it's Valentine's TLC from TNC. It's a night of performances on all aspects of love. Theater and in music and in poetry, and we have Lissa Moira here, who is bringing her team back again, and this is an incredibly talented group of performers, and they've worked tirelessly for tonight, so spending all their free time on this so we can keep theater alive. Hi Lissa, you're a little early. Um, and that is definitely what I call love. So also a big thanks to Roy Chang for his technical wizardry tonight. So a couple of fun facts. Tonight is the 30th TNC Live, actually. This is our 30th reading since we started doing this. It's incredible. So that's happening. That's up. And I just want to remind everybody to head over to our website for more info. And while you're there, join our mailing list and definitely donate to Theater for the New City. So if you're on the website now, there's a donation banner there. You can do that. And I just want to tell you about some upcoming shows that are going to happen this weekend and this month rather. So this Saturday is another edition of Open Though Shut, and that's at 2 p.m. And performances will be held on the sidewalk just in front of the theater, right in front of the shop garage. So the big sliding doors open, and there's a stage. So that's located on 10th Street between 2nd and 1st Avenue. And everybody will wear masks, so it's a socially distanced space that we have outside and it's live. And then on February the 20th is the 46th Annual Thunderbird American Dance Concert and Powwow. And that will be live streamed from TNC, but we will have tickets that we will sell online. So you just go to the website and theaterforthenewcity.net, and you can get tickets there. It's just $5. And then on the 25th of February, we have TNC on the Air is back, and this is a new play titled Dermalogic. It's written by Robert Kirkendall, and it's directed by Byron Saunders, who directed a previous show called My Dinner with Mary. And that brings us to tonight. Wow, that was fast. That brings us tonight. So I want to welcome Lissa back. Where are you? Come back. Back to the stage. There you are.
Stage for you.
Yeah.
It's our fourth time on air. I'm very excited. The fourth time on air.
Yeah, the fourth time. Was it Cafe Resistance, 100th Anniversary of Women's Suffrage,
the Holiday TLC from TNC, yeah. And now Valentine's TLC.
And now Valentine's Day. So a big kiss to you. Thank you for being here. And everybody, you are in for a treat. There is insanely talented people here tonight. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to watch what's happening. So cheers. See you guys. Have fun.
Yes, to you too. Hi, everybody. Well, again, we are back, and this time it is for Valentine's TLC for TNC. If you had joined us for the holiday show from TLC from TNC, we're back, and we're thrilled because, again, just as David said, it's all about love. And what the world needs now is love, sweet love, and that could either be a song title or a cliche, or I like to think of it as a truism. And gosh almighty, that's what we need right now. Valentine's Day is creeping up on us, and I have an array of amazing people, all my friends / colleagues / performers that I have directed and known through the years, and they're all amazing. I'm going to start with just a little bit of doggerel to kick off the evening. It's called A Very Valentine. Very fine is my Valentine, very fine and very mine. Very mine is my Valentine, very mine and very fine. Very fine is my Valentine and mine. Very fine, very mine, and mine is my Valentine, Gertrude Stein. I have a feeling that she and Alice B were hitting the brownies when she wrote that. Well, enough of that. Without further ado, I am going to bring out the fabulous Jonathan Fox Powers and the beautiful, magnificent Paige Cutrona. They are a married couple, recently married. I have worked with both of them. They're both extraordinary actors. Jonathan has been in many of my productions, and he never leaves anything in the dressing room. He lays it all on you out there on the stage, and he goes deep and dark when he needs to, or light and funny when he needs to. He's got it all. And Paige, I've just started working with, but she is equally marvelous. And I had asked them to sing a song that started their relationship. They first met on a show called Passion. It's a Sondheim show, and there's a wonderful opening song called Happiness. And I said, oh, I missed the show. I want to see what was the spark of your relationship. And they said yes, and I'm so happy. And then Paige, who is a Delawarean, I asked her, because I was just crying for happy through the whole inauguration. I said, oh, could you do Happiness Is Just a Thing Called Joe? And she said yes. So two of my requests and two of my most beloved friends and performers, that's Jonathan Fox Powers and Paige Cutrona.
Well, thanks so much, Lissa. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here. As she said, our first is from Passion, so we hope you enjoy this.
I'm so happy, I'm afraid I'll die here in your arms. What would you do if I died like this right now here in your arms? That we ever should have met is a miracle.
No, inevitable.
An inevitable, yes, but I confess it was the look.
The look,
the sadness in your eyes, the day when we glanced at each other in the
were both
park.
unhappy.
Unhappiness can be seductive.
You pitied me. How quickly pity leads to love.
So much happiness, merely from a glance in the park. So much happiness, so much love.
I thought I knew what love was.
I wish we might have met so much sooner. I could have
Thought I
given
knew what
you
love was.
my youth.
I thought I knew how much I could feel.
All the time we lost.
I didn't know what love
I've never known what love was, but now I do.
It's what I feel with you.
The happiness I feel with you. All this happiness.
So beautiful.
Happening by chance in a park.
Not by chance, by necessity.
Surely this is happiness.
By the sadness that we saw in each other.
No one else has ever felt before.
Just another love story. That's what they would claim. Another simple love story. Aren't all of them the same?
No, but this is more. We feel more.
This is so much more.
Like every other love
story. Some say happiness comes and goes. Then this happiness is a kind of happiness no one really knows. I thought I knew what love
I'd only heard what love
I thought it
was.
was no more than a name for yearning.
I thought it was what kindness became.
I'm learning.
I I thought where there was love, there was shame.
That with you,
But with you, there's just
happiness.
endless happiness. Whew. Thank you very, very much, and happy almost Valentine's Day to everybody. As Lissa said, as my husband sets us up for the next song, we met exactly 3 years ago, and we walked into rehearsal for a lesser-known Sondheim show called Passion, and had no idea that a few years later, right now, we'd be 5 months married. So we're really, really lucky, and we're very, very happy together. Thank you, Sondheim. So there's another kind of happiness to celebrate in 2021. We have a new president, and I think one could argue that happiness might just be a thing called Joe. It seems like happiness is just a thing called Joe. He's got a smile that makes the lilacs want to grow. He's got a way that makes the angels heave a sigh when they know that Joe's passing by. Sometimes the cabin's gloomy and the table's bare, but when he smiles and it's Christmas everywhere, troubles fly away and life is easy go. Does he love us good? That's all I need to know. Seems like happiness is just a thing called Joe. Sometimes the cabin's gloomy and the table's bare, but then he smiles and just a finger
Well, I'm happier. I bet everyone else out there is happier. Thank you, darlings. Wonderful. Oh, how moving and sweet and wonderful. All right, next up is a group called Melange, and it's almost impossible to get those people to do something live, just differing schedules and whatever. So they've sent us a video. They're, well, I could call it exotic music, but they really cannot be categorized. It is very, very different, Melange. So you can either meditate to Melange or whip out your Kama Sutra or grab a tab of LSD. I don't know. Whatever you feel like doing, it'll be Melange, followed by some wonderful poetry Richard West is going to read for you. Now, Melange is comprised of Richard West, and Richard West is on the guitar, and Susan Mitchell is on the violin. Oh, tonight she's actually on the cello. Oh, she's so versatile. Who can keep up with that gal? Yes, cello tonight. And it will be Jiggers Turner on percussion. And then after that comes Richard doing some poetry. And the poetry, well, it's from different decades, different centuries, different parts of the world, and a little bit of his own poetry as well. Very Valentine-y, and well, what could I say but Melange.
But there's no money in poetry, said the man to Robert Graves, the poet, to which he retorted, yes, but there is no poetry in money. And so we have a veritable abundance of riches here, of love poems from the 19th and 20th century, in which I shall read the author of each poem after I read the poem. See if you can guess. Oh, blush not so, or I shall think you knowing, and if you smile the blushing while the maiden heads are going. There's a blush for won't, and a blush for shan't, and a blush for having done it. There's a blush for thought, and a blush for naught, and a blush for just begun it. Oh, sigh not so, oh, sigh not so, for it sounds of Eve's sweet pippin'. By those loosened hips you have tasted the pips, and fought in an amorous nippin'. Will you play once more at a nice cut core, for it will only last our youth out, and we have the prime of the kissing time, we have not one sweet tooth out. There's a sigh for yes, and a sigh for no, and a sigh for I can't bear it. Oh, what can be done? Shall we stay or run, or cut the sweet apple and share it? Well, in case you haven't guessed, that was John Keats from the early 19th century, one of the greatest romantic poets. He was born in 1795 and he died in 1821. He lived only 26 years, but boy, he really packed it in. He did Synesthesia and all these other fantastic poems. The first one. Okay, now The Fall of the Evening Star. Speak softly, sun going down, out of sight. Come, hear me now. Dear dying fall of wings as birds complain against the gathering dark. Exaggerate the green blood in grass, the music of leaves scraping space. Multiply the stillness by one sound, by one syllable of your name. And all that is little is soon giant. All that is rare grows in common beauty, to rest with my mouth and your mouth. And somewhere a star falls, and the earth takes it softly in natural love, exactly as we take each other and go to sleep. Yes, The Fall of the Evening Star was by the West Village's own Kenneth Patchen from 1919 to 1972 he lived. And now a contemporary poet. This is called Sea Serpent. She comes in 2 shades of black and wears bright lipstick that burns down the dark. She washes her hair in chocolate and lets it dry in the sun. She slithers through the city like she's swimming underwater into a sea of possibilities. A confident chuckle remains with you like a call from the wild. That was by Richard Heisler, who changed his name when he became an actor to Richard West. Unending Love. I seem to have loved you in numberless forms, numberless times, in life after life, in age after age, forever. My spellbound heart has made and remade the necklace of songs that you take as a gift, wear around your neck in your many forms, in life after life, in age after age, forever. Whenever I hear old chronicles of love, its age-old pain, its ancient tale of being apart or together, as I share on into the past and end as you emerge, clad in the light of a pole star piercing the darkness of time. So long-winded, Richard. You become an image of what is remembered forever. You and I have floated here on the stream that brings from the fount, and the heart of time, love of one another. For we have played alongside millions of lovers, shared in the same shy sweetness of meeting, the same distressful tears of farewell, old love floating shapes that renew and renew forever. Today it is heaped on your feet and has found its ending alongside millions, the love of all man's days, both past and forever. Universal joy, universal sorrow, universal life. The memories of all loves merging with this one love of ours in the songs of every poet, past and forever. That is Rabindranath Tagore, India's greatest poet, as many say, and he lived from 1861 to 1941.
Ah, lovely poetry for Valentine's Day. Yes, indeed. All right. Next up, we have another couple, another married couple who met through a show. Seems to be a running theme this evening for us here and there. And that would be James Parks and Sarah Sirota. Now, I have known James for ever and ever. He has been in many of the shows that I directed, and it's always an extraordinary joy because not only is he a delicious and intuitive actor, but he's a darling human being and just a sweetheart. And Sarah found that out, I'm sure, when they met doing Hello Mudda, Hello Fada. That's extrapolated from Alan Sherman's very well-known song about Camp Granada that those of us of a certain age can still remember. But it brought this little bit of silliness brought them together. So they wanted to recreate it for us tonight, and I'm very excited to bring them both out. Sarah is new to me, but having seen her work this piece, I'm very excited to get a chance to work with her as well. So it is James Parks and Sarah Sirota.
What a great idea to study at the Bronx Zoo, Barry.
It was so noisy back at the frat house. Besides, you know what they say. It's always best to study with a close friend. Two young people, side by side, reading page by page, word by word, their hot breath warming the cold, hard. Oh, look, the hippopotamuses.
That would be hippopotami.
Huh.
Listen, why don't I just give you some review questions?
Okay, fine.
Now, the first question has to do with...
Mint?
No, thanks. The first question is...
Wine?
No, thanks. Question 1. In what geographical region are you most likely to find the giraffe?
Great neck. It was a guess.
Question 2. Name a land animal found in Mexico known for its great agility.
Cheetah.
Found in Mexico.
Cheetah Rivera?
Barry, if you're not going to be serious, I'm going to take the next bus back.
Sorry, Sarah. I'm just trying to make this date more enjoyable.
This what?
Date?
Barry, this isn't a date, it's homework. A date. How silly, I've known you since I was born.
I was just kidding, Sarah.
Question 3. What living creature can carry 200 times its own date? Wait, I mean,
you
wait,
said dates.
I didn't.
You did, I heard
no,
you.
It's you have me so mixed up. I'm leaving, I need to catch the next boyfriend back. Oh, darn.
Sarah.
Just stay there. Just talk to the camels and the giraffes and the hippopotamuses.
Hippopotami.
Oh, who cares?
Oh, they do. One hippopotamus is lonely. One hippopotami is never alone. One hippopotami cannot get on a bus because one hippopotami is too hippopotamus.
That's very interesting, Barry. I didn't know that.
And if you have two goose, that makes one geese. A pair of mouse is mice. A pair of moose is...
Meese. Mooses. Moose?
Paranoia is a bunch of mental blocks. And when Joyce Brothers meets Kildare, it's called a paradox. When two minks fall in love with all their heart and soul, you'll find the plural of two minks is one mink stole.
Singulars and plurals are so different. Bless my soul.
Did it ever occur to you that the plural of half is whole?
A bunch of tooth is teeth. A bunch of foot is feet.
And two canaries make a pair. They call it a parakeet.
A paramecium is not a pair. A parallelogram
Is just a crazy square.
and no one knows just what a paraphernalia is and what is half a pair of scissors.
It's a single sis with someone you adore. If you should find romance, you'll pant and pant once more. And that's a pair of pants. Happy Valentine's Day, and thank you to Curtis Reynolds for the accompaniment.
Oh, and thank you both. What a lovely bunch of silliness. We all need some silliness. My goodness, we could easily lose our sense of humor in these crazy times, and you just brought it back to us, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. And up next is the glorious, the wonderful, the delicious Inma Heredia. She is a wonderful flamenco dancer, and she also is a terrific singer, a marvelous actress that I met years ago when we were both acting in the same building in different theaters, and of course we just collided in the bathroom putting on our makeup, and I knew, wow, this woman's got juice, and I've got to meet her. I've got to get to know her and bring her to Theater for the New City, which I did, and the rest is history. And she's going to sing for you tonight. So lend her your hearts and your ears. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, my dear Lissa and Theater for the New City. What a wonderful honor to be celebrating love with all of you. And now we're gonna fall in love in Spanish to flamenco rhythms and music. So everybody join me in dancing and singing from home. Yo iba de peregrina, me cogiste de la mano. Me cogiste de la mano, yo iba de peregrina, me cogiste de la mano. Acariciaste el pelo, me besaste en la mano. Me besaste en la mano sonroja, miré para el suelo para no mediar palabras. Y soltaste un te quiero que se me clavó en el alma. Cántame, me dijiste, cántame, ay, cántame por el camino y agarra tu cintura, te canté a la sombra de los pinos. Mirando estaba para el cielo en la mitad de la raya. En la mitad de la raya mirando estaba para el cielo en la mitad de la raya. Acariciaste el pelo, me besaste en la cara. Me besaste en la cara sonroja, miré para el suelo para no mediar palabras y soltaste un te quiero que se me clavó en el alma. Cántame y me dijiste cántame, ay cántame por el camino y agarra tu cintura te canté a la sombra de los pinos. Cuando la noche caía y el frío más se calaba, y el frío más se calaba cuando la noche caía y el frío más se calaba, tu sonrisa busqué en la sombra para recrearme en tu cara. Para recrearme en tu cara tú cogiste la guitarra, yo canté por sevillana y bailaron las estrellas que desde el cielo nos miraban. Cántame y me dijiste cántame, ay cántame por el camino y agarra tu cintura te canté a la sombra de los pinos. Thank you. So I hope you all started to dance to celebrate this beautiful month of love. And now I'm going to offer a bilingual version of one of my favorite songs, Perhaps, Perhaps, Perhaps. And if this year has taught us anything, is to say yes to what we love to do in life. So follow your passion, follow your dream, and enjoy life. You won't admit you love me, and so how am I ever to know? You always tell me, perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. A million times I've asked you, and then I ask you over again. You always answer, perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. If you can make your mind up, we'll never get started. And I don't wanna wind up being parted, broken hearted. So if you really love me, say yes. And if you don't, dear, confess. But please don't tell me, perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. Make your decision, because tomorrow is not promised. And now you're gonna hear the second part in Spanish. Siempre que te pregunto qué, cuándo, cómo y dónde, tú siempre me respondes, quizás, quizás, quizás. Y así pasan los días y yo, ay, desesperando, y tú contestando, quizás, quizás. Estás perdiendo el tiempo pensando, pensando por lo que tú más quieras. ¿Hasta cuándo? ¿Hasta cuándo? Si pasan los días y yo desesperando, y tú contestando, quizás, 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 quizás. Perhaps. So yes, please follow your dreams and passions and be very, very happy. And to conclude my participation tonight, I'm going to sing a song that all of you know. It's called Bésame Mucho, Kiss Me a Lot. Now maybe with the mask or social distancing, but we can always send our love from heart to heart. So this is with much, much love from my heart to yours. And thank you very, very much again for inviting me to be part of this amazing evening. Bésame mucho. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo perderte después. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Ay, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo a perderte después. Quiero tenerte muy cerca, mirarme en tus ojos, verte junto a mí. Piensa que tal vez mañana yo ya estaré lejos, muy lejos de ti. Bésame, ay, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame mucho, que tengo miedo perderte después. Quiero tenerte muy cerca, mirarme en tus ojos, verme junto a ti. Piensa que tal vez mañana yo ya estaré lejos, muy lejos de ti. Ay, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Ay, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo perderte después. Tengo miedo perderte después. Que tengo miedo perderte. Ay, después. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Much love.
Brava, Inma, no perhaps about it. Our next scene stars the woman who is responsible for putting together this evening, Lissa Moira. Lissa is a brilliant writer, director, actor, and dancer. I have had the privilege of being directed by her in 5 productions and look forward to future collaborations. She's joined by the equally talented actor and singer Bennett Pologe, who I have had the pleasure of seeing in Lissa's production of Tom Jones the Musical, right here at Theatre for the New City. Tonight's scene is from The Undoing by William Mastrosimone. The year is 1983. The setting, a poultry shop. Lissa plays Lorraine, the bitter alcoholic proprietor of the shop. She is haunted by her husband's death at the hands of a drunk driver. Bennett plays Burke, a wounded man who appears at the shop one day. Lorraine gives him a job in the killing room. Unknown to Lorraine, Burke is the man responsible for her husband's death.
Yeah.
Inside!
Yeah?
I don't need you.
What?
You're fired!
I do something wrong?
I need sex.
Sorry, what was that?
You don't want to work here. It don't get better than this.
You don't know who I am.
Another cripple who can't do anything else. Who else would do this kind of work?
Look at me. You know who I am?
I know you. I attract freaks. I go through 1 or 2 a week. In 3 days, I'd have you drinking again. Get out. Come on. Just get out. Wait. How? How'd you get off the fucking juice and not lose your fucking mind?
You gotta want to come up again.
Want to? Well, what if you don't want to? Answer me that. How do you want to if you don't want to? No answer for that. Right or wrong, One Eye?
You didn't hit bottom yet.
What bottom? There's no bottom. It goes and it goes and it goes, and you keep falling and nothing stops. I fall when I lay in bed, and I think I'm dying, and I don't care. I don't care until I think of Mosca and Corva. I see the cops, and they come in from my front door, and they carry my corpse out under a sheet. And they come in and they look to see how I live. And they talk their talk and talk. So don't you talk to me about this life is beautiful bullshit. Not until you tell me how to care if you don't care.
I don't know.
You're goddamn right you don't know, because it can't happen. Hit the bricks, mister. Go on. Yeah. I'll write a check.
Don't worry about it.
How many hours you work?
5 minutes.
I'll pay you for 2 hours.
Yeah, forget it.
You stay right there, mister, and you take the check. Who says there's a bottom?
I say.
You been there?
Yeah.
How do you know you hit bottom?
You feel like you gotta die to get better. You been there?
I live there. Grab a bird.
What?
You want to work here or don't you?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, sure.
Hey! Ooh. Wait. Don't go. Please. Don't go. What's the matter?
I don't like that noise.
The first chicken's always hard.
Does it get easier?
After a while, it's like driving a car.
What do you mean?
What? You don't even think about it. He was a selfish, lying, heartless son of a goddamn bitchin' bastard. But I was pots about him.
What's that?
Pots. Don't you speak English?
Oh, that did.
Pots is when you know you shouldn't do something, but you do it anyway because you can't help it.
Yeah.
How can you live on 75 a week?
I don't need much anymore.
Yeah, I'll make it 125 and I'll double it when you learn.
Look, don't worry about it, huh?
Well, I don't want to lose you.
You won't.
I got a room upstairs.
To rent.
Furnished.
Yeah?
Yeah, the guy before had it.
What happened to him?
He quit on me.
What's it go for?
That's yours. Shh, watch out around here. Walls are thin. You sneeze, and the lady down the block says, God bless.
Ah. How much?
I don't worry about it.
No, come on. How much?
Don't worry about it.
In a bed?
Roll away.
Stove?
You gotta hook it up.
Fridge?
Small.
Perfect.
I can give you some linens and things.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Sure.
How much?
Don't worry about it.
Thanks.
You
Thanks.
can take the fan upstairs.
Don't need it.
Ah, it's an oven up there. Coffee?
Yeah. Thanks.
What? What would make me want to come up again?
To feel again.
Feel what?
A hand, a mouth, a dog's head, a baby. Hear Sinatra or rain on the roof. Laugh. Taste good food. Feel.
If I felt again, they'd have to tie me down and gag me.
Gee! What is this?
JD.
Why'd you do this?
So I could watch
Watch what?
you
Do what?
to see if you still want it.
I don't.
Bullshit.
I don't.
You sneak it, right or wrong?
Not a drop.
You're a liar.
No, you don't believe me because you're too weak to quit.
You can't just chuck the juice. You drank until you landed in the hospital and they took it away from you.
Yeah, the guys bought me stuff. I poured it down the sink.
Take a drink. Show me you don't need another one. That's right. Prove it to me.
Nobody can prove nothing to you.
You phony. You sneak it.
Think what you want.
You're a sneak. Show me. Come on. Show me.
No thanks.
Nobody just chucks the juice.
You're so dead inside. You want everybody around you to be dead.
If you was me, you'd drown yourself in it.
I was worse than you. Much.
Nothing's worse than me. I drink not to see, not to think, not to feel, not to hear. Oh.
Yeah. And a dog's got to eat its own vomit.
Ugh. Siren goes by, and I have to live it all again. 2, 3, 4, 5 times a night. How many times can I live it again? I'm in bed, and I'm waiting for Leo to come home. And I hear a knock. And it's Mask and Corvo. Come quick. What's the matter? Leo. They pull me down the street. Sirens and flashes, red and blue, spinning faster than my head. Cop cars and fire engines, headlights aimed at the 2 cars that are stuck together. The cops, they're out there with crowbars and they're tearing at the door, and the firemen with chainsaws and paramedics on the hood of the car that ran the stop sign, and they pull the man out of the windshield. And he's dead. They stretch him out and they wire his chest and they electrify his heart and give him life again. And in the other car, a screaming man with a broken steering wheel in his chest and blood on his face, and he's calling my name, Lorraine, Lorraine, and it's Leo's voice, and I see him, and he sees me, and I laugh. That's right. I laugh as big as a car wreck. It just pours out of me. All the years and all the talk and all the cups of coffee and the fighting and the making up and the nights. Oh, the nights. He flicked his headlights in the alley. And I climbed out of my window when I was 15 and he was 31. And we'd skinny dip in the quarry. And he'd throw a blanket over his 57 Chevy, and he'd turn up the radio, and he'd laugh, and he'd love me, and he'd bite me, and he'd destroy me with his passion till the birds sang, and he'd hold me like he wanted to break me in half. And I laughed out in the streets. He was nothing to me, just another chicken in the barrel, flapping around. Nothing. I laugh, and the cops stop, and the firemen and the paramedics stop. Police dogs stop, the air, the world, the moon, stop. Oh, give me that back, you fucking one-eyed freak! Give it back to me, you... Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, take me up. Yes, take me up there. Make me pots again. Okay. Here I am again. About to get you in a much happier mood, I absolutely promise. But we promised you all the aspects of love, didn't we? So we go from the dark to the bright, bright light. And there isn't any brighter light than Amanda Yachechak. She's an amazing actress. She's so versatile. There's nothing I've ever asked her to do on stage when she said no. It's always, sure, why not? Of course. Whatever it was always yes. She was the greatest thing that ever hit a director. And she also happens to have a magnificent voice. She's going to sing for you, opera yet, 2 marvelous arias, which she is going to tell you all about. Amanda Yachechak.
Good evening, everyone. I am Amanda Yachechak, as Lissa has so kindly introduced me. And what says love better than opera, A Night at the Opera? So these are 2 of my favorite arias, and I think 2 of the best that are suited for Valentine's Day. The first is Depuis le jour, which means since that day. And this is a very famous aria from a not so famous opera. This is the story of Louise. The opera is about Louise, and she is a passionate young woman who has fallen in love with the wrong man. Well, he's the right man for her, but the wrong man for her family, and no one wants them to be together. And of course, she runs off with him anyway and lives a joyous, happy life of rose petals in the country. And this is the aria that she sings after she's run away, and she has just had her first time with her wonderful Julien. And she's reflecting back on that moment and on how glorious and flowered and full of light her life is now in this moment. This is Depuis le jour.
Depuis le jour où je me suis donnée, des fleuries semblent ma destinée. Sans un ciel de la bancarde brisée de ton premier baiser. N'était pas un rêve. Oh, je suis heureuse. L'amour est en soi ses oh, j'album de mon cœur, chante de joie nouvelle. Tournez-nous tous réjouis de mon triomphe. Autour de moi, trop de sourires, lumière et joie. Et je tremble délicieusement. Souvenir charmant. Le premier jour.
Thank you very much. And my next piece is not nearly as happy. Well, it's opera after all. We go now to Japan. This is Puccini's Un bel di vedremo from one of his most famous Madama Butterfly. This is the tragic story of poor Butterfly, a Japanese geisha who has fallen in love with Pinkerton. And he came, he saw, he conquered, and she's in love for life. And she dreams of the day when he will come back to her and they will live just as rose-colored a happy life as Louise gets to live with Julien. Of course, this is a tragedy, and this is not to be. And she knows this somewhere deep down, but she has to convince herself that he is coming back on that one fine day. And this is the song that she sings to dream of that day and to hopefully make it come true. This is Un bel di vedremo.
Confin del mare e poi la nave appare, poi la nave bianca entra nel porto, tromba il suo Chi sarà e come s'ha raggiunto? Chiederà, chiamerà Butterfly da lontano. Io senza una risposta me ne starò nascosta, un po' per cena e un po' per non morire, non premo incontro, ed il cuor con pena chiamerà, piccina, mogliettina, bollezzo di verbena, in nomi che mi dava il suo venire. Tutto questo avverrà, te lo prometto, perché la tua paura io considero fede. Lo spero.
Oh,
Very much.
oh, wow. Glorious, simply glorious. Nobody can accuse Theater for the New City of not having any culture. We're loaded with culture. And that was gorgeous. And we also are going all around the world today. We've just been to France and Japan. And when we get to this next piece, we'll be in New Guinea, of all places. And the next piece stars Marlena Mack. Now, you haven't seen her yet tonight, but you're in for a treat. I've worked with her several times now, and each time is more joyous than the last. She can do anything from a femme fatale to a dingaling to a crazy devilish witch. And I was in a show with her, something I wrote for Halloween, and she was the most magnificent, scary little pretty little witch you can imagine. And it was very hard to keep up with her. She's wonderful, and she's also a wonderful singer. But right now you're going to see her acting, and she will be acting with the aforementioned James Parks, who you saw earlier with his wife Sarah Sirota. This time he's with Marlena. He juggles, and what could I tell you? No, Sarah, just kidding. Anyway, here we go. This play is called, the excerpt is from a play called Kuru by Josh Mannheimer. And as promised, Papua New Guinea in the 1950s. Dr. Arthur Roman, a distinguished physician, Mary Lou Anderson, a blonde cooking instructor from Iowa. Dr. Roman has been in the New Guinea jungle for 2 years, trying to find a cure for Kuru, a fatal disease that afflicts the natives. To his surprise, his fiancée, Mary Lou, arrives from Iowa. They have not spoken to each other since he left the States.
Mary Lou, I'm doing my best to get across to you that these people play life by different rules. You are going to have to see a little differently if you are to be helpful to my research. You are going to have to accept alternative points of view.
Don't lecture to me, Arthur. You always treat me like I'm some lower form of life, an intern or something. I travel halfway around the world to play red light, green light. Don't think I'm so inflexible as you think. Now, I watched a lot of National Geographic specials in the past couple of years. I'm not as stuffed up as you are about my intelligence. You know, when Daddy flipped the tractor, I went to work and now run the best cooking class in Iowa. I know what adversity means, even though I may not be able to spell it. There's not much you can say that will shock me at this point. Try me.
Well, first, you cannot leave. How you got here without getting killed, I cannot fathom. The clinic in Port Moresby sends a patrol in once every 3 months to bring me supplies. They just left last week.
I'm still standing.
Second, as you have just witnessed, all the women are dying of a mysteriously slow, fatal, degenerative brain disease. At the start, you lose your balance and smile stupidly. There's nothing funny about it. Excitement of any sort causes progressive locomotor ataxia with uncontrollable myoclonic jerks.
Talk like a human being.
Your mind remains completely lucid while you lose all control of your limbs. You watch helplessly as your body is taken over by some other force, which you cannot control. Until I find the cure, nothing can be done.
Oh.
Soon after you are no longer able to stand, swallowing becomes impossible. If you don't die of starvation, you are left indoors where you become so despondent you roll into the fire pit and are fatally burned. Unfortunately, I'm no closer to a solution than when I left you.
Go on.
Third, and this will be especially difficult, it is no reflection on you, but to be accepted, to perform my research, to get inside, if you will, I've had to make some accommodations. I've had to play by their rules. I've been given and I accepted a meme.
What?
A meme, a mate. The chief has very graciously given me his daughter.
He gave you his daughter. What the hell does that mean?
I have a wife.
A wife?
Yes.
You're married?
Yes.
You married someone else?
Yes.
No, serious.
I'm afraid so.
You're not marrying me?
And there's more.
More?
When I married her, she was 13.
13?
Yes,
You married a 13-year-old?
that's correct.
Kind of pervert?
It's not unusual in this culture for an adult to take...
Shut up for a minute, will you?
I was trying to explain that here...
Oh, you made a mortal vow to me. You think you can just go away to some jungle and poof, it disappears? Was I some kind of experiment? How does the heart look when it's been put through your Vegematic?
But if you would just let me...
Let me talk. Your marriage will not stand up in any court. What do I look like? Do you know how far I traveled to get here? What I had to sell to raise the money for airfare? The humiliation of telling people your letters were taken by pirates in some shipwreck? I lugged my wedding dress halfway around the world to make sure you like it. Why?
Mary Lou, please!
I'll take you to the cleaners. I don't know how, but kiss your precious career goodbye. Get your stuff out of here. I get the hut. I want you gone. Now, bye. Over. I'm ending it. No, not you. You take your wife with you. I'm leaving tomorrow. I don't care if I get killed. It'll be your fault. I don't know where I'm going, but I gotta go.
I knew you were not going to take this well. It must be a deep and bitter blow, but somewhere in your heart you must have known my ambition was far too great to practice medicine in Beaver City.
All I know is it wasn't too big for you to get misty-eyed that Christmas and ask for my hand in the most sacred act one human can do to another. Was I just a farmer's daughter? You could have skipped all...
I was unschooled.
Well, that's the first time you've ever admitted that. No, I knew you were a man, and that meant you had it in you to be evil, cruel, heartless, selfish, and conceited, but your big words diverted me. Oh, what if we didn't stay in Beaver City? I came all the way here. I could stay with you here. We could get married and live on some island somewhere. The three of us.
Mary Lou, let's look at the situation clinically.
No, damn you. I don't want to look at it clinically, you coward, you man, you wimp, you little piece of dog turd.
Mary Lou, let's try to put aside our enmities and overcome this initial obstacle.
Oh, ass, you ugly dwarf, you masked piece of gore.
Perhaps we can roll up our sleeves together.
This pig-faced eggplant.
Mary Lou!
What?
Please. Of course, there is always the chance I may wish to reconsider. One never knows what can happen. Perhaps if we work together for a while, there is much work to be done.
Spit it out, blowfish. I got a train to catch.
Whether you or I like it, we are stuck here with each other. There's much work to be done. Great achievements to conquer, awards to be won. Let's put our shoulders into it, yes? Madame and Louise Pasteur, perhaps something will rekindle between us.
There's something to pin my life on.
The natives believe you are a goddess. They believe you have fallen from the sky to save them. Never in your life will you face such an experience. They've slaughtered a herd of pigs for you. They worship you. You are the homecoming queen. They will believe whatever you tell them. Dozens of men will kiss your feet. They'll rub your body with pig grease. Will you please stay and accept this new position?
What about your wife?
She'll have to understand.
What are my alternatives?
You can return through 300 miles of the deepest, darkest jungle on Earth. If the warthogs don't gore you and the leeches don't suck all your blood, then cannibals will surely peel the skin from your flesh while you are still alive.
This big party they're throwing me. Oh, what should I wear?
As little as possible.
Oh, that was yummy and very funny. All right. I'm going to do something for you that is completely different. Of course, that's what we do around here. Go from everything so eclectic and so different. And this is not about romantic love. It is about love of the theater. And I bet that everybody out there can relate to that. It's love of being part of the theater. It is from a marvelous play called A Midnight Moon at the Greasy Spoon. And it is by Miguel Pinheiro. And it premiered in New York City in 1981 at Theater for the New City. 1981, an all-night luncheonette near Times Square, run by Joe, a former vaudevillian, and Jerry and Dominic. And there's a stable of regulars present. Zoma Sampson, a chronically out-of-work actress, is one of those regulars. Here she stops by on her way to an audition. Oh, hi, everybody. Oh, hot chocolate to go. Extra milk, no sugar. Oh, hey, Joe, is the phone working? Yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, Jerry. Oh, the years have taken their toll. Pot belly soon. Oh, stop drinking all that beer. Hey, Dominic. Hello. Hello. No, hello. This is X87. Nothing. What? No, but I will. Well, if that's the way you feel about it, I will just have to get myself another answering service. Goodbye to you. The chocolate ready? Oh, yeah. Ooh. Gah. Well, I was gonna get another answering service anyway. Well, I was. All right, Joe. Come on, you know how it is in this business. Sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. But I guess I know what you're thinking. Once a person reaches a certain point in the struggle to reach some kind of recognition and they don't get there, then it's time to bid farewell to all that's part of one's natural habit, i.e., the habit to eat, the habit to breathe, to sleep. The nature of a prayer is to be heard by whoever is listening. I seem to have had a bad connection. Oh, to that certain ear, wherever it is. Oh, all right, Joe, you want to know what I'm talking about. I am and Dominic over there, who just got married for his green card. Congrats. And Mr. Cop, yeah, he wants me to repeat what I said because he didn't get it all the first time. What I'm talking about, I'm talking about David Merrick, Alex Cohn, Gower Champion, Joe Luggage, and Frankie Suitcase, about all the guys who control the means and the manner of my existence on this planet. I'm talking about show business and backstage and variety and all those casting notices that appear in the paper about the equity billboard, about the daydreams that rush through our heads as we climb the stairs to yet another audition. And the tears that flood out of us after being rejected once, twice, 3 times in one afternoon. And that doesn't count the morning or the telephone calls, or the hundreds of pictures and resumes that hit the mailboxes, of course. I can't repeat exactly what I said. I speak from the moment, not from a script. As for you, Dominic, who just got married, oh, break a leg. Well, time has it that I venture toward that unknown fate of a sacred audition. The rest of this hot chocolate will be cold by the time I reach my destination. But that is not the moment of truth. Oh no, that comes much later tonight with the hot chicken soup that I heat in the naked cold of my lonely apartment, when the night finds me moaning over the uselessness of trying to survive in the path of glamour and beauty. For I have lost both of those elements during the course of these many years. Yet my talent has no end in sight. But I am not judged for that. No, but by the fullness of my breasts. So long, guys. I'll see all of you tomorrow, if the gods are on my side. If not, send me no flowers, as I venture to that great casting office in the sky. Bye. Yeah, Joe. I shall return your mug on the morrow. Adieu. Poor Zelma. Yes, indeed. Poor Zelma. Love the theater. I love the theater. Zelma loves the theater. Unfortunately, she's not doing so great. But next up, we have yet another married couple. Yes, we have the wonderful Mark Singer, who I know through his. These days, gender, who knows what gender anyone is. There's like, what are there, like 57, just like Heinz? But anyway, Mark Singer, all man, wonderful guy, married to Darcy Dunn, and almost everyone here has worked with Darcy Dunn. She is a glorious mezzo and a darling human being. I mean, she has kindness that goes on for years and days, and you got trouble, you go to Darcy. She's wonderful. She starred in something that I did called Rappaccini's Daughter, and she in something called Speakeasy. And in Speakeasy, she had the 11 o'clock number. And let me tell you, every single night after night, she stopped the show dead. I mean, half the time people were standing. It was just glorious. She's amazing. Mark, I'm just getting to know, but he's lovely. He's a writer and he's a singer. Mark Singer, what else could he be? And they are going to sing for you tonight, actually tonight, from West Side Story. And it's kind of mashed up with Luck Be a Lady tonight. Darcy Dunn and Mark Singer.
I saw you.
treated other guys you've been with. Luck be a lady with me. A lady doesn't leave her escort. It isn't fair. It isn't nice. A lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow on some other guys' dice. So next, order polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby. I'm the fella you came in with. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady tonight. Tonight. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady. I know the way you treated other guys you've been with. Luck tonight. Now see my love tonight. And for us, stars will stop where they are today. Okay, I had the feeling a miracle would happen. I know now I was right. For here you are, and what was just tonight.
Well, I didn't lie. Marvelous, Darcy, and fabulous. Oh, I've never seen myself frozen like that. I hope everyone can hear me. I'm not sure, but I'm going to talk anyway, and someone will probably tell me whether or not you can hear me. Next up, I seem to be frozen. Okay, let's try this again. Am I, hey guys.
Hi,
My
Lissa.
wonderful people in Zoom land. Am I on screen? Am I talking? Am I walking? And am I talking? And I'm doing
Hey,
all those
Lissa. It's John David West, and I can see you and hear you. You're all good.
Okay. All
Keep
I
it
can see is
going.
my big fat nose, but that's okay.
We're loving
All
it.
right,
Keep it going.
wonderful. Then I shall continue, s'il vous plaît. Okay, next up is a glorious actress, someone that I have worked with, so many times through the years. And she always surprises and she always delivers. And she's also one of my very best friends on earth. I adore her. You're going to adore her if you've never seen her before, which it's hard to believe because she's done so much. Her name is Susan Mitchell, and she's going to be doing a monologue from Oscar Wilde's Salome.
I am amorous of thy body, O'Connor. Thy body is white, like the lilies of a field that the mower hath never mowed, like the snows that lie in the mountains of Judea and come down into the valleys. The roses in the garden of the Queen of Arabia are not so white as thy body. Neither the roses in the garden of the Queen of Arabia, the garden of spices of the Queen of Arabia, nor the feet of the dawn as they light on the leaves, nor the breast of the moon as she lies on the breast of the sea. There is nothing in the world that is so white as thy body. Suffer me to touch thy body. Thy body is hideous. It is like the body of a leper. It is thy hair that I'm enamored of, Yukonin. Thy hair is like clusters of grapes, like the clusters of black grapes that hang from the vine trees of Edom in the land of the Edomites. It is like the cedars of Lebanon, like the great cedars of Lebanon that give their shade to the lions and to the robbers who would hide them by day. The long black nights, when the moon hides her face, when the stars are afraid, are not so black as thy hair. The silence that dwells in the forest is not so black. There is nothing in the world that is so black as thy hair. Suffer me to touch thy hair. and love not thy hair. It is thy mouth that I desire, Yochanan. Thy mouth is like a band of scarlet set upon a tower of ivory. It is like a pomegranate cut in twain with a knife of ivory. The pomegranate flowers that blossom in the gardens of Tyre and are redder than roses are not so red as thy mouth. The red blasts of trumpets that herald the approach of kings and make afraid the enemy are not so red. Thy mouth is redder than the feet of the doves who inhabit the temples and are fed by the priests. It is redder than the feet of him who cometh from a forest where he has slain a lion and seen gilded tigers. Thy mouth is like a branch of coral that fishers have found in the twilight of the sea, the coral that they keep for the kings. It is like the vermilion that the Moabites find in the mines of Moab, the vermilion that the kings take from them. It is like the bow of the king of the Persians that is tinted with vermilion and is tipped with coral. Oh, there is nothing in the world that is so red as thy mouth. Suffer me to kiss thy mouth. I will kiss thy mouth, Yochanan. Oh, I will kiss thy mouth.
You know she will too. Well, that was juicy. If that didn't get your juices flowing, nothing will. All right. We keep going and the goodies just keep coming. We've got Bennett Pologe back again, and you might have remembered him from that scene I did with him earlier. He was so marvelous in Undoing. And he's going to be singing. He has a wonderful voice too. And he is going to be singing some Lerner and Lowe, something from Camelot, How to Handle a Woman. And following him, we have, again, Marlena Mack returns to show you how versatile she is. And she's going to be doing a rockabilly version of If I Were a Belle, a little Frank Lester. And let's bring him out, starting with Ben.
No, 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 no. No, 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 honey, no. No. Yeah, 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 but, yeah. Hello? Hello? Blast! Blast you, Merlin. This is all your fault. You swore that you had taught me everything from A to Z, with nary an omission in between. Well, I shall tell you what, you obviously forgot. That's how a ruler rules a queen. And what of teaching me by turning me to animal and bird, from beaver to the smallest bobolink? I should have had a whirl at changing to a girl, to learn the way the creatures think. But wasn't there a night, a summer long gone by, we passed a couple wrangling away? And did I not say, Merlin, what if that chap were I? And did he not give counsel and say, what was it now? My mind's a wall. Ah, ow. Oh yes, by Jove, now I recall. How to handle a woman, there's a way, said the wise old man, a way known by every woman since the whole rigmarole began. Do I flatter her, I begged him answer? Do I threaten or cajole or plead? Do I brood or play the gay romancer? Said he, smiling, no indeed. How to handle a woman, me well, I will tell you, sir, the way to handle a woman is to love her. Simply love her, merely love her, love her, love her. Where are you, Jenny? What's wrong? What are you thinking? I don't understand you. No matter. Merlin once said, don't be too distressed if you don't understand what a woman is thinking. They don't do it very often. But what do you do while they're doing it? How to handle a woman, mark me well, I will tell you, sir, the way to handle a woman is to love her, simply love her, merely love her. Love her, love her.
Wow, Ben, that was amazing. I hope you're not tired of Frank Lesser, everyone, but I'll keep this short and sweet. Okay. Ask me, how do I feel? Ask me now that we're cozy and clinging. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a bell, I'd be ringing. From the moment we kissed tonight, that's the way I just gotta behave. Boy, if I were a lamp, I'd light, or if I were a banner, I'd wave. Ask me, how do I feel? Little me with my quiet upbringing. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a gate, I'd be swinging. And if I were a watch, I'd start popping my springs. Or if I were a bell, I'd go ding dong, ding dong, ding. Ask me, how do I feel from this chemistry lesson we're learning? Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a bridge, I'd be burning. Yes, I knew my morale would crack from the wonderful way that you looked. Boy, if I were a duck, I'd quack. Or if I were a goose, I'd be cooked. Ask me, how do I feel? Ask me now that we're fondly caressing. Well, if I were a salad, I know I'd be splashing my dressing. Or if I were a season, I'd surely be spring. Or if I were a bell, I'd go ding dong, ding dong, ding. Happy Valentine's Day.
Well, happy Valentine's Day to you. Ring a ding ding. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay. Next up, we have William Broderick, who is an amazing actor. He's not going to be singing for you tonight, but trust me, he's got a glorious voice as well. But he's an extraordinary actor who I've had the great honor and pleasure of working with many times before. And if if the gods of theater are willing, a play of mine and Richard West's called Who Murdered Love, a musical, which will be starring Bill if and when COVID ever makes way for it. Anyway, enough of that. Tonight it's something totally different, and he will be working with the glorious Amanda Yachechak, who graced us with those glorious arias earlier on this evening. Now she puts on her acting hat, and it will be William Broderick and Amanda Yachechak in an excerpt from Tom Stoppard's The Real Thing. Celebrated playwright Henry, who writes deft, witty plays about adultery and has left his wife to marry his actress lover, is now suffering after learning of her affair with a fellow actor. Here he talks to his 17-year-old daughter, Debbie, about the real thing.
Since when did you smoke?
I don't know. Years in school, me and Terry used to light up in the boiler room.
I and Terry.
I and Terry. Are you sure?
It doesn't sound right, but it's correct. I paid school fees so that you wouldn't be barred by your natural disabilities from being taught Latin and learning to speak English.
I thought it was so that you'd be a virgin a bit longer.
It was also so that you would speak English. Virgo syntacta.
You were done, Henry. Nobody left the boiler room Virgo with Terry.
I wish you'd stop celebrating your emancipation by flicking at me like a wet towel. Did the staff know about this lout, Terry?
He was on the staff. He taught Latin.
Oh, well, that's all right then. Look, we're supposed to be discussing a family crisis.
What crisis?
You're going on the streets.
On the road, not the streets.
You're too young to go off with a man.
I'm too young to go off without one. Don't worry. He's nice.
What does he play? Ma says he's a musician.
Oh, steam organ.
A traveling steam organ? He's not a musician.
Fairgrounds.
Oh, well, swings and roundabouts.
Tunnel of Love. How's Annie?
In Glasgow.
Don't worry, Henry. I'll be happy.
Happy? What do you mean, happy?
Happy. Like a warm puppy.
Oh, dear Christ, is that what it comes down to? No philosophy that can't be printed on a t-shirt? You don't get visited with happiness like being lucky with the weather. The weather is the weather.
And happiness?
Happiness is equilibrium. Shift your weight.
Are you happy, Henry?
I don't much like your calling me Henry. I like being called Fa, and Ma.
Happy days, eh? How are the Everleys getting on? And the Searchers? How's old Elvis?
He's dead.
I did know that. I mean, how's he apart from all that?
I never went for him much. All Shook Up was the last good one. However, I suppose that's the fate of all us artists.
Death.
People saying they preferred the earlier stuff.
Well, maybe you were better then.
Didn't you like the last one?
What, House of Cards? Well, it wasn't really about anything, except did she have it off or didn't she? What a crisis. Infidelity among the architect class, again.
It was about self-knowledge through pain.
No, it was about did she have it off or didn't she? As if having it off is infidelity.
Most people think it is.
Most people think not having it off is fidelity. They think all relationships hinge in the middle. Sex or no sex. And what a fantastic range of possibilities. Like an on-off switch, did she or didn't she? By Henry Ibsen. Why would you want to make such a crisis out of it?
I don't know. Why would I?
Well, I think it comes from making such a mystery out of it. When I was 12, I was obsessed. Everything was sex. Latin was sex. The dictionary fell open at meretrix, a harlot. You could feel the mystery coming off the word like musk, meretrix. And this was none of your amo amas amat. This was a flash from the forbidden planet. And it was everywhere. History was sex. French was sex. Art was sex. The Bible. Pen friends, poetry, games, music. Everything was sex, except biology, which was obviously sex, but obviously not really sex. Not the sort that was ecstatic and secret and wicked and a sacrament and all the things it was meant to be but couldn't be at one and the same time. I got that in the boiler room with Terry, and it turned out to be biology after all. Well, that's what free love is free of. Propaganda.
Don't get too good at that.
What?
Persuasive nonsense. Sophistry in a phrase so neat you can't see the loose end that would unravel it all. It's flawless, but wrong. A perfect dud. You can do that with words, bless them. How about what free love is free of is love? Another little gem. You could add a what on the end of it like Bertie Wooster. What free love is free of is love. What? And the words would go on replicating themselves like a spiral of DNA. What love is free of love? Free love is what love what?
Far. You're going on.
Yes, well, I remember the first time I succumbed to the sensation that the universe was dispensable minus one lady.
Oh, for God's sake, don't write it, Far. Just say it. The first time you fell in love, what?
It's to do with knowing and being known. I remember how it stopped seeming odd that in biblical Greek, knowing was used for making love. Who's it knew so-and-so. Carnal knowledge. It's what lovers trust each other with. Knowledge of each self, not of the flesh, but through the flesh. Knowledge of self, the real him, the real her, in extremis, the mask stripped off the face. Every other version of ourself is on offer to the public. We share our vivacity, grief, sulks, anger, joy. We hand it out to anyone who happens to be standing around, to friends and family with a momentary sense of indecency, perhaps, to strangers without hesitation. Our lover shares us with the passing trade. But in pairs, we insist on giving ourselves to each other. What self? What's left? What else is there that hasn't been dealt out like a deck of cards? Carnal knowledge. Personal. Uncompromising. Final. Knowing. Being known. I revere that. Having that makes you rich. You can be generous about what's shared. She walks, she talks, she laughs, she lends a sympathetic ear. She kicks off her shoes and dances on the table. She's everybody's and it doesn't mean a thing. Let them eat cake. Knowledge is something else. The undealt card. And while it's held, it makes you free and easy and nice to know. And when it's gone, everything is pain. Every single thing. Every object that meets the eye. A pencil, a tangerine, a travel poster. As if the physical world were wired up to pass a current back to the part of the brain where imagination glows like a filament in a lobe no bigger than a torch ball. Pain.
Has Annie got someone else then?
Not as far as I know. Thank you for asking.
Apologies.
Don't worry.
Don't you? Exclusive rights isn't love, it's colonization.
Christ almighty. Another ersatz masterpiece, like Michelangelo working in polystyrene.
You know what your problem is, Henry?
What?
Your Latin mistress never took you into the boiler room.
Well, at least I passed.
Only in Latin.
Only in Latin. Wonderful. Ah, culture, travel, erudition. We've got it all at Theater for the New City. And next we've got wonderful romantic violin music. Susan Mitchell will be gracing us with her beautiful violin, and she's going to be doing some beautiful music from Tchaikovsky and from Romeo and Juliet, Kiss from a Rose, etc. Oh, the beautiful Susan Mitchell.
Valentine's Day.
Well, that's what I call romance. Oh, that went right to the cockles of my soul. Very beautiful, very lovely. And as an accompaniment to that beautiful music, or as a side dish to that beautiful music, I'm going to do some poetry. Love poetry, of course, love poetry. The first one is A Love of New York, very different. It is by the magnificent Elizabeth Bishop, who left us in 1979, and it is a love letter to New York. In your next letter, I'd wish you'd say where you were going and what you were doing. How are the plays and after the plays? What other pleasures are you pursuing? Taking cabs in the middle of the night, driving as if to save your soul, where the road goes round and round the park and the meter glares like a moral owl. And the trees look so queer and green, standing alone in big black caves. And suddenly you're in a different place where everything seems to happen in waves. And most of the jokes you just can't catch, like dirty words rubbed off a slate, and the songs are loud but somehow dim, and it gets so terribly late. And coming out of the brownstone house to the gray sidewalk, the watered street, one side of the building rises with the sun like a glistening field of wheat. Wheat, not oats, dear. I'm afraid if it's wheat, it's none of your sowing. Nevertheless, I'd like to know what you are doing and where you are going. Yes, a love letter to New York City. Ah, Sarah Teasdale. Love Sarah Teasdale. And she left us in 1933. And this is I Have Loved Hours at Sea. I have loved hours at sea. Great gray cities, the fragile secret of a flower, music, the making of a poem that gave me heaven for an hour. First stars above a snowy hill, voices of people kindly and wise, and the great look of love long hidden, found at last in meeting eyes. Yes, Miss Teasdale. Ah, well, now I'm going to do something that some people may call mundane because they think they know it oh so well, because they maybe know the first line and they've been hearing it all their lives. However, how can it be Valentine's Day without Sonnet 43 from the Portuguese, Elizabeth Barrett Browning, who left us in 1861. And this one is for my Richard. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach when feeling out of sight for the ends of being an ideal grace. I love thee to the level of every day's most quiet need by sun and candlelight. I love thee freely as men strive for right. I love thee purely as they turn from praise. I love thee with the passion put to use in my old griefs and with my childhood's faith. I love thee with a love I seem to lose with my lost saints. I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears of all my life. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. Yes, from the Portuguese. And now someone that we don't quite associate with love, Carl Sandburg. Yes, he talked of more than just abattoirs and Chicago's mighty shoulders. Oh yes, he spoke of love. Solo for Saturday night guitar. Time was, time is, time shall be. Man invented time to be used. Love was, love is, love shall be. Yet man never invented love, nor is love to be used like time. A clock wears numbers 1 to 12, and you look and read its face and tell precisely and exactly. Holding love in a tight hold for keeps fastening love down and saying it's here now and here for always. You don't do this offhand, careless like. Love costs. Love is not easy, nor is the shimmering of stardust, nor the smooth flow of new blossoms, nor the drag of a heavy hungering for someone. Love is a white horse you ride, or wheels and hammers leaving you lonely, or a rock in the moonlight for rest, or a sea where phantom ships cross always, or a tall shadow always whispering, or a circle of spray and prisms, maybe a rainbow round your shoulder. Heavy, heavy is love to carry, and light as a rose petal, light as a bubble, a blossom, a remembering bar of music, or a finger, or a wisp of hair, never forgotten. And now, something of mine own, as they say, a poor thing, but mine own. Poetry lover. Take me, take me, take me, poetry lover. Make me your vessel, be my mortar's pestle. Masculine muse, free to abuse. Grab me by the hair of my soul. Chew me up and spit me out, better than whole. Tear off my face and replace it, cell by cell by cell. Light my way inside out of hell. Let me be your brand new woman, over and over and over again. Dark, dank omen, giver of pain, make me over, poetry lover. Spread the legs of my brain beneath its cover. Never, never, never ignorant again. Only the virgin remains merely sane. Joy, 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 felt but unexplained. I embrace the mystery, the inchoate dancer, not the answer. I discover, I discover, I discover, I discover, I discover. I discover my poetry lover. Ah, thank you. Hope you got that. Well, now we're closing with the loveliest lady in the world, someone I've known a goodly long time and adored her. And she's been in many, many of the shows that I've directed and shows that I've written and co-written. And she is just a supreme artist, a wonderful actress. I mean, if you never saw her in well, anything on stage, oh my God, you just have in Siren's Heart, which she did off Broadway, which I co-wrote, which ran for 14 months. Oh my God, she played Marilyn Monroe. And when you see her, you'll know why she played Marilyn Monroe. But tonight she's going to sing for you. She's going to close the show with I Have a Crush on You. And won't you be lucky if she does? And then, of course, the ultimate Valentine song, My Funny Valentine, Louisa Bradshaw.
Oh, Lissa, thank you for that marvelous introduction. Look at that handsome face. No, this is George, his brother, George. If I had been alive when he was alive, I would have had the hugest crush on him, but he's dead. But if I had been alive, well, I probably wouldn't have had a crush. I would have gotten obsessed and driven him running into the sunset, and then I'd die. Anyway, we're not going to talk about my obsessions, but happy Valentine's Day. And George, thank you and Ira for writing this beautiful anthem. They don't write them like this anymore, you know. Anyway, here we go. The songs nowadays are kind of angstful, you know, but this was happy and sweet. Anyway, okay. That's my piano. You can't see it, and I can't play it, so anyway. How Glad the many laddies of millionaires to caddies would be to capture me. But you had such persistence, you wore down my resistance. I fell, and it was swell. You're my big and brave and handsome Romeo. How I won you, I will never, never know. It's not that you're attractive, but oh, my heart grew active when you came into view. I've got a crush on you, sweetie pie, all the day and night time. Hear me sigh, I never had the least notion that I could fall with so much emotion. Could you coo? Could you care for a cunning cottage? We could share the world. Will pardon my mush, 'cause I've got a crush, my baby, on you. I love you, George. I love you, Ira, too. But George is, I can't love you because I love your brother. Anyway, I digress. Rogers and Hart, another amazing duo. I didn't Google them, but, I'm sure I could have a crush on them, too. I love talented men. I can sing. I'm single, you can tell. But anyway, that's okay. This is of course, Valentine's Day anthem. And here we go. Thank you, Rogers and Hart. How glad the many laddies of millionaires to caddies would be to capture me. Oh, that's Crush on You. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, it's late. It's late for me. All right. Wait, how does it start? Here we go. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, yet you're my favorite work of art. That's my heater. I wish it was a man knocking on my door, but it's not. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? So don't say a prayer for me, not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. Oh, each day is Valentine's. Each day is Valentine's. Each day is Valentine's with you. I love you guys.
We love you too. That instant reprise, I was saying, gee, that sounds familiar. Oh, baby, we love you. Marvelous, marvelous way to conclude an incredible evening with all my wonderful, brilliant friends. Oh, I'm so blessed with a plethora of talent in my life. Anyway, it's time to thank everybody and say goodnight. I have to start, of course, with Ms. Crystal Field, who is the doyenne of the theater, of our theater, the Chatelaine. She is also the executive director and the artistic director, and she always gives us our heads, and she lets us do our thing, which is why we love her so, so much. So thank you, Crystal. And then, of course, there's Roy, who was, he was, you know, pushing the buttons and making the Zoom our way all night, along with Brian Park, who has this magnificent mane of pink hair. He stays in the background a lot, but you've just got to see him. He's marvelous, and he's doing a brilliant job for Theater for the New City and for us tonight. And of course, John David West, who likes to be called David. Thank you, David, for all the wonderful introductions and making the whole thing run smoothly, and for making the on air, this whole series, go the way it's going. 30 shows. Wow, I'm in awe. Okay, so now let me say thank you to all my wonderful cast. There's Louisa, who hasn't left us. Good night, Louisa. And there's the wonderful William Broderick. I hope he's still around. We saw him give us the real thing tonight. Good night, Bill. Paige Cutrona and her no longer betrothed, her actual husband, Jonathan Fox Powers. And they started the show tonight with lots of love and happiness. And on tape, we had fabulous Darcy Dunn and Inma Heredia. Oh, what the marvelous Spanish chanteuse and flamenco dancer. She's wonderful. I adore her. I love her. Good night to you. And we have Marlena Mack, who I love, and I hope to be working with again very, very soon. And of course, we had Melange on tape, and we have Susan Mitchell, who did so very many things for us tonight. I adore her, and I love her work. And there is James Parks and Sarah Sirota, his lovely wife. And I wish you could see their adorable little one, Rachel. I love her too. I've only gotten to see her in pictures, but I can't wait to actually meet her. And we have Bennett Pologe, who sang and did a scene with me. And I'm so grateful to him for making the scene possible. And Mark Singer, we also saw on tape with Darcy Dunn. And Jiggers Turner was on tape. And oh, we cannot forget, she has the misfortune of having a Y in her name. Why? But so she's at the bottom when I do things in alphabetical order, but she's tops with me, Amanda Yachechak, glorious singer. She sings everything imaginable and always does it magnificently. And she's a beautiful actress, and I love her. And of course, Richard West, who was also on tape tonight. And there's moi, I'm Lissa Moira, and I'm grateful to all of you for being here tonight and joining us. And there is the lovely and talented David West. Take it away, David.
Hey guys, amazing. You guys are wonderful. Thank you, Lissa, again for bringing all this talent to Zoom, to the Zoom world.
Zoom world.
And yep, can't wait to get back into the theaters. So let's hope soon we get in there. Anyway, we'll see you guys, everybody, on Saturday at Theater for the New City on the street on between 2nd and 1st Avenue on 10th Street. And then check us out on February the 20th for the Thunderbirds American Dance Concert and Powwow. And just head over to the theaterforthenewcity.net. And all the information is there. And while you're there, please donate. And if you can't donate to Theater for the New City, donate to your local small theaters and local businesses. So, all right, happy Valentine's, everybody. Thank you for being here. And you guys, you amazingly talented people, happy Valentine's to you.
Happy Valentine's to you, too. Enjoy this Sunday.
Let's fall in love.
With whoever you love the best, please. And let me just say, now that are we off the air so we can all just say goodnight? We're still on here. Well, I can still say goodnight to everybody, I guess. Good night to everybody out there in Zoom land, and to my wonderful, wonderful peeps. My goodness, they brought all their talent to this beautiful evening, and I'm beyond grateful. And I'm sure we'll be doing lots of stuff together again soon, and send you out the door with all my love. Good night, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.